With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
This is your president speaking. And I approve this message.
Vegas Raiders, just win, baby. We are the Vegas Raiders, just win, baby. Don't need no invitation. We are that Raider Nation. We rock that black and silver. We make them shake and shiver. We make them reconsider. And we still committed. So if you wanna be sinners, you can come and get it. Vegas Raiders, just win, baby. We are the Vegas Raiders, just win, baby. Don't need no invitation. We are that Raider Nation. We rock that black and silver. We make them shake and shiver. We make them reconsider. And we still committed. So if you wanna be sinners, you can come and get it. Touchdown, touchdown. Let's throw a ball down, first down. Let's throw a ball down every down. First we score, then we clown. Having fun, look around. Nobody loud as a Raider crowd. Nobody proud as a Raider crowd. NFL, how you like me now? We gon' do this Vegas style. Nothing but action. I'm Bo Jackson, hit the goal. Run you over, goal line, jumping over. Go crazy, lose your soul, lose your mind in a black hole. Here's your goal, Super Bowl. Everybody here, get that goal. Don't need no invitation. We are the
Okay, I think I'm live. I'm gonna sit here dancing. I don't know if I like my hair like this. I took it down. Trying to do different things, but I don't know. My hair is not going good the last couple of days. I think I need to go back to New York to get the hydration in my hair. I'm a little frustrated because I've been eating healthy, so my hair should be kind of bouncing back, but I guess it doesn't work that way. So then a snap of the fingers, I'm being unhealthy and my hair's getting crappy, and then in a snap of the fingers, my hair's gonna get healthy again, and it takes a minute. But today is just not working for me. I think I'm gonna take it all the way down. Go back to my headband. Start over, you guys. It's just a mess. Just a mess today. Some days actually every day I have bad hair days. Let me get my headband and my brush. I'm gonna start over because this is not working for me. I always try to do different hairstyles, but I just always fall on my normal ones. I just like them best, you know what I mean? I don't know. But it's hard to get out of a style you like, especially when you're older and you're so stuck on a style, You're like, oh, it's still hip. But no, that was 20 years ago. Yeah, probably so. So anyways, happy Thursday, everybody. That hair had to change. It wasn't working. I don't know, my hair was just being really flat. I think maybe because we didn't have that hair reconstructor for a minute. They said it's the crappy one now too again. Oh, you guys know my hair reconstructor thing? Okay, so
it's not even worth it now.
I know. I don't even think I want it anymore. So I didn't even. So they confiscated it. They confiscated when I was going to New York because it was bigger than the size. That it wasn't something illegal. It sounds terrible, but at the airport, when you can't have the things above 4 ounces or whatever it is, for your little fluids or whatever. And this was just a little bit bigger than that. It wasn't a huge thing. It was I don't know. I should look at the size of it. I think it's 6. Or something like that. And I was so bummed the guy took it. It was a full jar. Because I've taken it before and I didn't have an issue with it, but they took it this time. So when I got home, we didn't have any. And and that was the good one. Remember, I was all happy about getting the good one because it was the old one. We got it yesterday. They sent us a crappy one again. And you can't specify. It's what it is. It's the older product is better than the newer product. So it just depends on which warehouse they send it from Amazon. Which box has the old ones, which ones have the new ones. So you're just kind of ooh. But I think we're just going to stop buying it because the new product is just not good. And I almost feel like it weighs down my hair too much. It puts too much weight on the hair instead of kind of giving it some life. But that's my
Hi, Natalie.
Hair trauma. I have horrid hair because here's the deal. I used to have really good hair when I was young. I had very, very good hair. And then as I got older and I wasn't super healthy, that didn't help. but also I started dyeing my hair very young. And then I also started using products like, the blow dryers and straighteners. And just like each year I would notice my hair was getting thinner and thinner as I got older. And so in 2018, I think it was, I stopped blow drying and straightening my hair. But now I've just had the worst hair. Because I have very unmanageable hair, but I refuse to blow dry or straighten it. And it's not that it like looks much better than other people's, but I feel like it'd be even worse if I was blow dry and straighten it. Because, I don't know, as you get older, you do lose hair every day, which is unfortunate. Because I used to have a lot of hair. I hope it, doesn't get thinner and thinner and thinner sooner. I hope I have a couple more, years of, at least a good head of hair. It sucks when you start losing your hair. I think that's really sucks for people. I think that's one of those things that really upsets people, because hair is very important. It really is impactful in your look, changing your hair. I was thinking about getting a haircut before the trip. I need one. You guys know me, I only go to the super cuts or whatever. Such a cheapskate with certain things. I love spending money on other people, but if it's for me, it's like, oh, no. They'll try to get me going. I'm like, do not get me a reservation at one of them expensive hoity-toity places. I'm not going. So Richard tries, but I resist things like that. I don't know. I don't even like being in those environments because I was raised by a very classy mom, but who kind of had a little bit of a trashy side to her, but she definitely had a classy side to her. So there's just certain things that I know how to be classy, but then every once in a while I just have this I don't know, trashy ornery side to me, and so I'm trying to kind of make that one be less of. I think it's not cool being trashy. It's better to be classy, But I never wanted to be super hoity-toity. So that was my conflict because I envision classy as uptight, But I think classy is just not being disrespectful and not, saying cuss words and things like that and, saying offensive things. I think that's more classy than how much money you have or what things you have. So I'm realizing in some ways I didn't know how to be classy because my family, they were service worker New Yorkers, So they were hardcore, all about work, hard work, and not necessarily about being nice or being friendly, about getting the job done, Irish, and so they didn't really teach me necessarily the best social skills. So we were watching Big Brother, and you observe the people's social skills, and you see they're lying, but Rich was like, yeah, they're just being social, and I was like, I just don't like that. I don't like lying to people, but then that doesn't always go great if you don't lie to people, in the sense of if someone asks you something that the truth is offensive, in social situations you're not supposed to answer the truth if that's the case. I'm not saying you go lie to everybody, but there's certain things, certain ways you're supposed to behave. So I'm working on that. I don't want to become this liar that's all fake and stuff, but yeah, I think there's also a balance of not offending people every time you are in a social. Is it still going?
Oh yeah, it's still going.
What happened to the sun here?
Oh, it's just moving over here.
Oh, and so I've noticed though on the show Big Brother, so I know I talk about this one of the weirdest things, but we do watch a handful of things that I get really into, even though I wouldn't watch it without Richard. I won't turn on it, but when I'm watching it, I'll get really into it, the Mets games, which I'll tell you that fiasco. And then also the Big Brother each season. I'll be oh, I'm not sure I even want to watch it, or I'll be bitching, and then I'm can't stop watching it, So I was noticing that, so if you guys know about the show Big Brother, it's a reality show where they've been doing it for many years now. I think this is the 27th year or something like that.
27th season for sure.
Season, which is, I think they do one a year, right? So I think they'll do I know it's over 20 years. But, anywho, they put all these people, 16 to 17 people in a house together for 3 months, and then the one winner, because they have to vote each other off. But so the one winner, can win $750,000, and then the runner-up gets $75,000. It used to be $550,000, Which is funny because like first place gets like such a drastic difference from second place. But and then after that, no one else gets anything except for they get paid to be on the show. And there's a jury, so if you can make it to like the last like 6, I think, are in jury, or 7 or something like that. I don't even know. And I've been watching it for years, but I still don't know some of those things. I don't pay attention to things like that. But they do the live feeds, so I'll be watching, and I was like really watching last night because they were just talking mad crap, everyone, and knows what's going on. But then I realized the HOH was called the head of household, so once a week someone becomes the the leader, and they get to vote who gets to be voted out and stuff, or they get to nominate who gets to be voted out, and so they're kind of like, everybody's like, bowing down to them that week, but then the next week they might be the ones voted out, and that often happens. But so I was realizing they give the head of household people alcohol. That's why they act so crazy, because you're always like, why did that person go off the rails as like the head of household? Because they really get like cocky, and they don't really dumb mistakes, and they listen to the wrong people, because everyone comes up and tries to persuade them to do things, and you're always like, that person's usually. But I realized, they give them alcohol, but they don't really like make a note of that. Like, that's not really like something you can kind of see, but they'll hide it because usually it's not something that's promoted by the channel, so they're like hiding. Like, I noticed Rachel had these high noons, which I wouldn't have even known had I not even. Rachel's the head of household right now, Rachel Riley. She's won many years ago. She's actually from Vegas originally, but anyways, I know that I'll get off the Big Brother topic in a second here for those of you that don't care. But the thing is, I saw her drinking this high noon, which is this vodka thing, and the only reason why I know that is because I drank one, and it got me wasted. It was one of the days in March that I drank when I ended up. So remember, I jumped out of the car. Well, then, like, not a couple days later, I didn't jump out of the running car, but I was like, you better stop the car this time, Richard. Then he stopped, and then I got out again, and I went into a Walmart and bought myself one of those things because I didn't have like. I think I was looking for ciders or something at the time, probably. And I thought, because it was like a vodka seltzer or something. That thing kicked my ass. I mean, I have one of those. So I realized they were drinking those. And I was like, no wonder why they're being like wacky. But it's interesting, the show doesn't really let the viewers know. So you just think like, that person went off the rails, but then sometimes they do let you know if they're getting alcohol, but it's like, it'll be a big event. But then whenever someone is the head of household, I guess that's part of being leaders, you get alcohol. But that's why they do it on purpose, because they know most people, if they haven't had alcohol too in like weeks and maybe months, and now they have alcohol, they're going to just be dumb, So they're kind of setting them up for like disaster. And I was realizing that because like Rachel was that up, she's going around like this, just like not letting anyone else talk, and I'm like, what is she doing? I mean, it's really aggressive for her. I mean, not that aggressive. And then I'm like, she was like so drunk on these vodka things, because she had like a 6-pack of them, and I saw her sitting there, and I was like, that makes so much more sense. But it's interesting that the show doesn't want the viewers to know. They just kind of want you to think like the person's crazy, you know what I mean? Like, but that, it's like, if everyone knew that they were drinking every time they were the HOH, then you'd be like, that's why they made such weird decisions. I mean, it makes sense to give them the alcohol, because it does kind of stir up things more, where it'd be more boring. But it's just interesting they never have noted that. And I wouldn't have even noted, except for I saw the label, but they weren't showing the label. It was just like, I recognized it, and I was like, wait, that's those, like, I think they're called like high noon vodka something, the vodka seltzers or something. But yeah, they weren't like, sometimes they'll show things, like they'll be talking about Doritos or something, and I'm like, this got to be an ad in some way, or Lay's or something. But yeah, anyway, so I was watching last night, and I was like, it is interesting. What I was noticing is in my own life, like, I'm like, it is interesting to see how different someone acts on alcohol, and so I really am, like, I think the more I'm, like, observing these things and observing my actions, I really am, like, drinking is not classy, It's very trashy. And I really, for so many years, really took a lot of pride in not drinking. So I'm really trying to kind of, like, get there in Manhattan. Because I'm there in Vegas. I'm, like, fully there in Vegas now. Like, I don't feel like a temptation to drink here. Like, if I didn't leave here, I wouldn't feel a temptation to drink. But, like I said, it's not that people think, then you should never go to New York. I don't think that's the answer either, because that's just avoiding something too. And also the reason why New York is another issue is because I'm by myself. But that's not really cool if I can't handle things by myself either. You know what I mean? Like I need to be strong enough to like avoid addictions when I'm on my own. Because it is much harder than when you're with your family. When you're with your family, you know what I mean? There's just other things going on. You have other people that are looking out for you, you know. You don't get into reckless behaviors, you know. And maybe like right now, like we're just going grocery shopping, so it's not even like I don't even have to be tempted of like, oh, am I gonna want to, buy hard cider when I'm at the grocery store? It's like I'm not even going. So whereas in New York, I'm gonna have to go to the store even if I'm not wanting to drink, or go get whatever food I'm getting, but have to avoid, the things that I don't want. So it's a little bit harder, actually a lot of bit harder, but. I'm not resenting the fact that I get to go either. It's not like, well, if I just stayed in Vegas, I would just be sober. And yeah, I would be, and that is a thing to be, and I have done that. And I'm not saying I'm done with that in no way. I love being sober. I'm just saying I've done the where you never slip up, for X amount of years or whatever. And you just stick with it even no matter what other temptations are around. I've had where clients were wanting me to drink and I just didn't, and I mean, it's much more awkward and they don't really want you to stay around, but I've done it, I just don't feel like it's necessary at this moment in my life when I'm in New York to maybe be that rigid. That's kind of how I'm viewing it. Is not that I want to be like, free for all there either, because that is very dangerous because I need to be by myself. But also I think that the rigidness just makes it harder for me. So that's why I'm kind of like giving myself a little bit of flexibility. But then I don't want the flexibility to go too far. You know what I mean? So it is a good thing because I'm having to do it myself. You know what I mean? Where I'm having to like. The best way to know if you can be sober is when you're by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, can you do it when no one's watching, and when no one would know, and when, like, or if no one would care, whatever the situation. But, like, that's when it's the hardest to do that then. So I don't recommend, like, if you're newly sober, trying to do it at that time. But since I'm, doing it this way, this is just the way it's going. But I also am appreciating that I'm having to go through these challenges of like can I avoid things when I could go do it and no one would care, no one would stop me, no one would be mad at me, but personally it's not the best health decision, so more in that sense. Whereas in the past I feel like there was a lot of times where it was more like, I'm not doing this because maybe someone's gonna be mad at me. Even like before Richard, I'm not saying like Richard only gets mad if I'm doing something that's very reckless for my health, as in he gets mad at me. But like in the past, when I was young, first I got a DUI when I was 22, so that was the first thing where they want you to stop, and I did for many years. But I don't know if it was fully because I wanted to or because I felt I needed to, which I did feel I needed to at the time. That scared me, and then there was times when my family wanted me to stop, you know what I mean? And I did at times then too, but it wasn't always because I wanted to. So, and even when me and Richard first stopped, it was kind of a mutual thing, but it was definitely more I was the issue, because Richard's not really a drinker. So it was like, let's stop drinking, but really it's like, let you stop drinking kind of thing, because he don't really care about drinking. So at first it was like, okay, yeah, I need to, but but then there became a time that I was really, really passionate about it. But then when I slipped up, I think I kind of wanted to be like, I can do this if I want to kind of thing. And I think I, proved that. But I don't think that's like a good way to go about life. Like, I'm going to do it because I can. It's like, well, yeah, you can do a lot of things that are harmful. It doesn't mean you should. So I am each trip like growing up. And I mean, the more I talk about it before I go out, I was like, stop like that. But it does kind of help me. Even if I slip up, it's still like one of those things like the entire time I'm there, I'm thinking, let me sober up, you know what I mean? Because I'm just like still all about this sobriety thing. Like I want to be sober but I do struggle in New York, and I've also like given myself just a little bit of freedom in New York because I could be rigid sober. I've done that. I'm saying I've done that. I've gotten all the years of coins, you know, you get, and never slipped up, nothing, and I've done that, and I know that I can. So, like, but it's also like I'm going this route right now. But I ultimately know alcohol's not good for you, and I don't want to be drinking in my later age, and I'm already 40, so I don't want to probably pass this year. You know what, that'd be a good rule. Never, not drink past 2025, because that'd be good. So November trip would be the last, because I just don't want to be this, you know, old lady looking even older because I signed poison in my body when I go to New York. So I think that's going to be my goal. That'll be my good goal, to make sure by the end of the year I'm no longer drinking. And maybe even before then, that would be ideal. Because I just don't want that to be, people go, oh, well, see, it's like this, I have this love and hate thing with alcohol. Like when I'm alone, like I feel like, oh, it's so fun for about a day or two. And then I start to get sick and I don't feel good. And then I drink because I don't feel that good. And then I go, oh, this made me feel better. So then it becomes kind of like a thing to like kind of drink to like kind of get yourself even kind of just, okay, happy again, you know. But it's really only like the first 2 days that are even like any sort of like really fun for me. The rest is kind of like just this downward. And then each day it gets like, right, feels sicker. And I get a lot of ailments when I drink, in the sense of I often like TMI would get like the, you know, what they like to call like the beer shits, you know, but the I get like diarrhea really bad when I drink either the hard ciders and the beer. I don't do any other drinks, so I don't know if like the liquor would do the same, but so it might be something in the sugar or something. But so then I'm like not feeling good because that too, and TMI, and then I don't end up eating enough. I end up just drinking. Sometimes I forget to even eat because I'm just like drinking all day, and then I'm like, oh, did I even eat today? I don't know, you know, and so it's not good. And then I get really bad stomach aches because it's a lot of sugar, because I choose to drink sugary things because I don't like the taste of alcohol. So I won't ever drink things that are like, taste like alcohol. Like, oof. That would be good if there was nothing that tasted good. Then I would probably stay away from it, because the taste of alcohol, no thank you. There's something about those, like the ones that like don't taste like alcohol. You're like, ooh. But I don't know. I'm kind of getting less of like really wanting to like go wild, because I am 40, and it's like, I mean, I don't want to do another drunk karaoke. I mean, you know, you just kind of like, yeah, don't want to jump out of a car again. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like ridiculous things, right? So it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's not really like this, like, oh, it's so glamorous and fun. It's kind of becoming like just stupid and irritating for me. So I feel really good today, being day 9, and every day that I'm sober, I get more irritated that I drink in the first place. I'm like, why do I even do that? And then like I get like X amount of days sober, and then why I cave in, I'm like, why? Like it's like, why? Like I don't know, but other people might struggle with this, but it's like you get so strong, and then just one day it just caves in, and you're just like, how did it cave in when I felt like I was getting stronger each day? It's just weird. But with me, I mean, it's definitely according to my trip, but still, like I'm gonna be like 3 weeks, so like I can choose to stay strong. Like I don't have to cave in, you know what I mean? And so maybe I won't this trip, but I feel frustrated for my other trips that I did, and then I'm still dealing with this conflict. You know what I mean? But it is. I mean, it definitely, like, in my effect, it's not like I'm just going like, oh, I'm so strong, and then nothing happens, and then definitely when I go to New York, but still, that's kind of an excuse, because sobriety can happen anywhere, so I don't have to be like, oh, I just can't be sober because I'm in New York. I mean, it's much harder, but it is possible, you know what I mean? So I don't like that I'm kind of really using that as an excuse, because I do. Like, if I were to choose any sort of thing that was like a celebration, a festivity or something, you know, like where you go, oh, Joy, what would you like if you, achieved this thing? I'd be like, I'd like to have a drink. That would be my thing, where some people would probably say other things. So that's why I say it's like my vice. But at the end of the day, it's not something I want to do every day because it's a very toxic vice.
Albert, just join the channel, subscribe, and be a year sober in November. Is really
Oh,
excited
good
about
job.
recovery.
Good job.
Andy wants to know if you're an alcoholic. Matthew says we're all alcoholics. Some of us are
I'm definitely an alcoholic. Yes.
Some of us are
No, I've known that since I got my DUI when I was 22. I realized that.
What is that you don't drink on a regular?
I don't drink on a regular basis. That's the thing, because I am an alcoholic. So like, the longer I drink, the more sick I'm gonna get. I don't. It only gets worse. It doesn't get better until I stop. So that's why it's like the 2 weeks. I'm at about the max, like of where I can take it. Because by that last day, I'm looking pretty haggard and I'm tired and I don't feel good. But like even if I was home, if I drank more than 2 weeks, it'd be bad. So that's what I'm saying. The times I ever drank, when we talk about when I got really heavily addicted, were small windows of time. Even in Panama, we say we drank for the year solid, but we didn't because I would die. So we often would take breaks. And that's why I went through withdrawals so many times there too. We would try to stop, and we would stop for X amount of time, but I was the one always caving in back then. But then when we got to Vegas, we stayed sober for like 3 years. And no problem. Like, it was just effortless. I mean, the clients wanted me to drink all the time, but I was like, no. It was just, I didn't even question, and I never thought I was going to drink again. Until we were working out at the gym, and we were working out like 2.5 hours a day at Las Vegas Athletic Club. And Richard just seemed to be getting like more and more depressed. And like we were really fit, and we were trying to be as healthy as we thought we could be. At the time, we didn't fully know the diet that we know now, but we were really working towards health, and just very committed. We didn't spend any money. We just sat around and we went to the gym, and then we would sit around and watch like whatever was like free on like whatever thing we had. If it was if we had Netflix, we'd watch the free ones. We wouldn't ever buy anything. You know what I mean? You maybe buy the subscription to Netflix, but that'd be about it. We had like 2 subscriptions, and we were such cheapskates, and we just were saving money, and this is kind of before I actually did my full recovery. So I was still kind of like struggling like on and off with my bulimia at the time, and I remember just being like, do you want to just like get some alcohol tonight? And we were at the gym, and I just remember being like, that feels like the beginning of the end, but yeah, let's do it. And I remember we were so worried about it, like I got us all set up for like okay, in case I end up being drunk for a couple days, like let's make sure we have food, let's make sure we have water. Like we got we got everything set up before we drank. I remember it was like this big ordeal because I didn't drink in like 3 years, and we drank for about a month, and I got super sick. Oof. That was the time I was like seizuring. Oh, it was terrible. That was in 2016, and then we didn't drink again until the New Year's Eve of 2017 to 2018 when we were in the cave. I went out one night at Cosmo. I had a client that got us a room at Cosmo, and he also wanted me to go to dinner with him and drinks. So I got a free room that Richard got to be in, and it was great because we were living in the cave. And he knew that I was living in the cave. Like, we told my clients back then. Crazy. But so he knew, like, Richard was in the room, and then we had dinner and drinks, and I got really drunk. I think I was having some pretty strong cocktails back then. I don't even remember what I drank, but I got really drunk. And then we went back to the room, and then I think I drank more, like, from the mini bar. And Richard got, like, room service, which he had told us to get and everything. But, and I brought back, like, food and service, but it was bad. And that was that time when I was, like, those white pillows, as people have, like, shown when I was, like, so that was 2018. And that was only one night. And then we lived in the cave, which we didn't drink in the cave. And then that was 2017 to 2018, that night. And It was like actually New Year's Eve, so it was like the 30th of December. But is December really go to 30? December or 30th? January, February, March, April, May, June, July. 30 months. Then the next time wasn't until 2022. So we've gone like lots of different like long years of time. I mean, not as long as some, you know, they've been like 3 or something. But that's a good amount of time where, you know, you encounter a lot of situations where you can't handle it, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't just, like, you know, hole up in a ball back then and don't show me alcohol. I won't go to the store. I mean, I was, like, still, you know, seeing clients that were, like, putting glasses in my face. I'd be like, no, I'm good. You know, for years that was occurring. So I can resist it. And so that's why I get a little frustrated with myself. But then I'm like, I don't know if I want to be that rigid at this particular month in my life. But like I said, I think by the end of the year, I'm kind of done with this. Because it's not beneficial to me. And it makes me look bad. And it ages me. And it makes me do stupid things. And it makes me offend people. And it makes my stomach hurt. I mean, let's stop with things. And they're like, well, why do you do it? That's a good question. I don't know. It is one of those things like, why do people drink alcohol? I mean, because it is so detrimental. And we all know that. And there's labels all over it saying it's detrimental and all these things. And we know that people drink and drive. So that's the one thing I really do like about New York. That's the other thing I don't like about Vegas is you can drink and drive. In New York, I mean, if you have a car and you decide to drive it when you're drinking in New York, I mean, you don't have to drive in New York on any level. So, I mean, it is really dumb if you're drinking and driving in New York. Because, like, unless you live in Jersey, but I'm saying, like, Long Island or something, I'm saying, like, you live in the city, just get on a subway or something, or take an Uber. Like, it would make no sense. Like, I don't think there's very many DUIs in the city. Probably out of the city. I probably get some people coming from, like, Jersey or something, but it would be ridiculous. So that's what I like about New York is you're just walking. So you're not going to probably endanger anyone else in any way unless you're, like, a violent drunk. But me, the most danger I've been was, like, I drank and drove when, you know, when I was younger. And and then I usually just have caused harm to myself more than anybody else. Not intentionally, like on accident, like doing dumb things that I injure myself. Not like literally trying to harm myself. I've never tried to do that. Just, I've never tried to harm myself when I was drinking. I was accidental. But I have, they even jumped me out of the car. I didn't see that was going to harm me. I thought it was just going to like bounce. Like I was going to be like really, like kind of like a basketball, like you keep on going. I don't know. I envisioned I was like, boop, boop, and just be like on my way, like bounce back up, like spring off the floor. I'm good. Like how the baseball players like go down and do their tuck and rolls and stuff. Yeah, that's not what happened. But I am happy. It feels like, well, I don't know when these scars are gonna go away, but they're not full scars, is what they're saying. It's still just like indentations or marks from literally probably the road stuff. I forgot what it's called again. The black stuff on the road, the asphalt or whatever, under the skin, and then there's still, I guess, maybe bruising under the skin. So it's not necessarily scars. It's just like deep bruising, because like on the side here, it looks like I have all these bruises, but it's been there since March that way. So I think they're just deep within the skin, so hopefully they'll eventually go away. I don't know how that works. I really don't know. Doctors out there, how does that work if you injure yourself pretty bad, but it's not a full scar yet, but it's still like the bruising, I guess, how long that lasts. So I went to see a tattoo artist, which I don't want another tattoo. I have one tattoo. I appreciate people's tattoos. I think it's a cool art, but I didn't actually ever want one. I was raised to not get tattoos. It was very like frowned upon, But then when my mom and brother died, my sister wanted to get matching tattoos. So me and her have these, it looks like the MasterCard symbol. It's ridiculous. But it's my mom and brother's initials. It's on both our backs. But you barely see mine ever, which I like that. But when I got these scars, which I thought they were like full-on scars from the car, I thought I'd get them covered up. So when I was in New York, and I don't think it was that trip, this was a trip before, I went into a tattoo shop because it was a really cool tattoo shop, and I was like, what can you guys do with like something like this? She said, oh, those aren't even ready. Those will diminish more. I was like, oh, good news. That's such good news. And she said, you can't even get a tattoo yet on that. It's too fresh, like, but it hasn't even healed. So I'm happy to hear that because that's my biggest irritant right now is that, like, I really made this side of my body ugly right now, and it was my favorite side, you know, like, I don't know if you guys know that, I was like, do my left side, you know, everyone has their side they like more, and Ariana Grande, I guess, is, like, insane about it being her left side, which a lot of people, it is their left side, that's why, like, hosts are often, like, this way, and then the guest is this way, but she tries to get switched with the host is like, oh, hell no, I like my left side too, girl, you best sit on your right side, but anyways, so I like my left side best, and that's the side I messed up. I was like, could have just messed up my right side. I don't really like that side. Just keep it all the same. But no, I do it. So like now in photos, I'm like, either get used to my right side or deal with this ugly scar there. It's all my fault too. That's why I get frustrated with myself. Like, why am I drinking when I do such dumb things? But I'm not doing those kind of dumb things. But drunk karaoke wasn't a great idea either. Oh dear. The one song was so bad. It complicated. I didn't listen. Excuse me. I sound like I'm drunk now. I am not. Day 9. Just got the hiccups. I did not listen to that song before I posted it. Not that it would have helped because I was drunk. So, oh, it sounds great. But I listened to it on the plane. Helped me decide to not drink when I got home, I'll tell you that much. I was like, how long has that been up for? Oh, it's already been seen by too many people. It doesn't even matter, delete it now. What was I thinking? And then Rich is like reposting it. It's like, no. On my Twitter and on the, like, not on the YouTube, but on the Twitter, but it was on, I put up both. It got like the most views. Well, sure. In not a good way. Most of my videos that got the most views were not necessarily in a positive way. The Raider Nation. So with the Raider Nation, we first got retweeted by Barstool Sports, which was fabulous. That's what got us basically our million views. Well, got us close to there. But then it started to take wildfire of the haters on Twitter. This was on Twitter. It wasn't even one of the kind of finished ones. Not that they were ever finished. Richard was always working on those videos. There were like a million different takes of it. But this was when I just did in the studio. It was like the first time I ever tried to do the song. I think it was, or no. This one was outside. That's right. That was a different one. That one went pretty viral too. I forgot about that. There was one when the first time I ever tried to do the song, and I was in our studio when we lived in these apartments, and that one went pretty viral. And then Richard made a better one. But the funny thing is, the one that went viral says something about Go Brady. Because the thing is Go Baby. But they were going to get Tom Brady. They were trying to get Tom Brady on the Raiders when we made the song. And they were almost going to get Brady. The only reason why they didn't is they didn't want to give him enough of the team. He wanted like a portion of the team when he came over. And they should have, because I think he ended up, didn't he go to, I think he went to the Buccaneers and won the Super Bowl that year. The Raiders should have picked him up that year. But they didn't want to give him a portion of the Raiders. And I think maybe he even now owns a portion of the Raiders. I can't remember. But back then, they were not willing to give that up. I don't think they even could afford it. The Raiders didn't have that much money. They claim they have all this money because they have the value of their stadium, but they also spent a lot of money. And, it's just the value of the property, but they don't really have that excess cash that they say that they're worth, So they're actually a team that struggles financially. That's, I think, why they came to Vegas. anyways, they were going to get Tom Brady. And so the song says, like, instead of baby, it says Brady. And so some people saw that one and were like, what? Brady? I mean, because when it's out of context now, because that was like 2019. So now it's like so out of context. Some people don't even know that he was looking for property here and everything. There was realtors showing Tom Brady around and stuff. Kept trying to hope we'd run into him. Him and Giselle were here. He was still with Giselle then. I think they got divorced now, right? Yeah, crazy. Anyways, I'm not that up on, I don't look on Instagram anymore. I don't like Instagram. So if you guys are Instagram people, sorry, I'm not a fan. But I used to troll a little bit on Instagram of celebs because that's really the only place a lot of them are on. So I would go check out some of the celebs that are only on there, like the Biebers and stuff. But I haven't looked at Instagram probably since either last time I was in Manhattan or before, but not since I've been home. I don't even know if I have the app on my phone. I always delete it. But I'll go over there and check out a celebrity's profile, and then I'll actually come to YouTube and find out the dirt on what's going on. Like, because, you don't find out that much from the actual celeb, but you'll go and you'll see what they've been posting. That's what I would do, and then you go to YouTube. I watched so many of those videos about Justin Bieber on YouTube. It's kind of sad. I really do like Justin Bieber. I mean, I know he's clearly on some hard drugs right now. I can tell that, but I still feel like, they were pretty hard on him, and they expected a lot from him as a young child. Because it's weird with, like, entertainment, like, it's totally allowed for children to work, where normally you can't have children work. You know what I mean? But in entertainment, children can work. Like, children can be actors. Children can be, rock stars. Children can be, on these dancing shows or these, entertainment shows or whatever, or they can be athletes, and like be forced, or they can be, Olympic stars and be forced to train, and not have like a regular life. It's just weird how with entertainment we're like this. So like, cool, where I don't think that is necessarily cool for the child. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's great probably to be a star. That's fun, I'm sure, on some level. But, I mean, to not get to be a kid, and like be basically working since the time you were some of them very young, like the Olsen twins, since they were babies, they were on a show. It is just a weird thing because I feel like there are a lot of these. I know they're getting better with probably the rules and the laws and even what's allowed. And there was a lot of weird things going on, and I think they've been trying to clean that kind of stuff up so that kids' experiences are better if they are in entertainment. But when you think back, back in the day, there was just all kinds of crazy things occurring, and it's a lot of these people have gone really nuts, like Britney Spears. And I'm really sad to see that, and, everyone wanted her away from her dad. But, oh my gosh, have you guys seen her recent one where she's talking about baking her homemade bread? Oh, no. I mean, she's off her rocker. And it looks like she is not taking her meds and that she's also doing illegal drugs, is what the sense I get. I don't think it's just off her meds. I think it's a little of both. Because I think she needs to be on meds like Annette. I don't know her full diagnosis, but I think she has to be like daily medicated. But I think right now, because she's kind of like on her own, I think she's also maybe doing something, other than, some sort of other drug. I don't know what it is, but she seems pretty whacked out. But maybe that's just her off her meds too. It's hard to know because I don't know her full sickness, but it kind of seems like left to her own devices now, she's kind of getting worse and worse, and maybe it's just the further away from taking her medicine. It is really difficult with people with mental illness because a lot of them do end up wanting to do illegal drugs or abuse drugs and alcohol in some way. But then there is their mental illness. So people will think everything is either them acting out because of the drugs and alcohol when it sometimes is just their mental illness. Do you understand? But then it's really hard. So that's why when we first got here, we didn't know the difference with Annette, but now we can differentiate, whether it's, like I can tell when she's doing caffeine, you know what I mean? So I can literally see the difference in, okay, this is her without any drugs, and this is her even if you give her caffeine, you know, or this is her without her medicine from the doctor, you know. And so we've observed those things now, and she is, without her medicine, she's pretty much as off the rails as she is if she's doing illegal drugs or caffeine or something like that, from what we saw. So like, it is hard to tell when someone gets that far off their meds. So what happened is, when we first got here, Annette had not been on meds for years. And then she ended up getting arrested before we had kind of taken over. We were still kind of like letting Gloria kind of handle everything with Annette, and hoping that she wasn't even like, Gloria was still trying to, you know, handle when her appointments were and stuff, and she kept missing them. And so that's when I finally was like, okay. I remember we had missed like 2 appointments, and I was like, okay, I'm keeping track of the appointments now. Like, it's just like these things kept. So finally, Annette ends up getting arrested and gets on medicine. And then I'm now taking her to the doctor, but then the doctor did not send the right medicine to the pharmacy, so they were waiting. And it took about a week, and by the time, Annette didn't want to take her medicine anymore. So each day we watched her deteriorate and get worse. And this is before that whole pancake incident and stuff. This was in, I guess it would be 2023, I want to say now. This was before that March 27th incident. What was that, 2023? It's all starting to, so it was sad to watch, and we just saw she stopped eating. She didn't want to eat anymore, and she only wanted to walk, and she didn't want to sleep, and she only wanted to smoke cigarettes and just walk and just like pace it. It was like she'd never sit. And so when it gets far from the meds, it gets harder to differentiate what is the psychosis and what is the drug induced. So a lot of times you have people with mental illness that do both, that have both. And so then that can get really crazy, because now you're just, because they need to be on their meds and they're doing other things that you're not helping. So it's like, because just like I said, it's like without the meds, it's bad enough. Then if you add in anything else, some do alcohol, and that doesn't do alcohol, so that's good. And she doesn't do any other drugs anymore, so that's good. Ever since we got her, she has no desire to. So she was doing the meth, and we got her off that back in 2023, and she doesn't even have any desire to even go back down. She used to go downtown to get it. She does her cigarettes. I mean, I'd rather not smoke cigarettes, but I'm not gonna take that away from her. But she's been smoking way less, and she only smokes outside now, so that's good. But other than that, Annette, she has no desire to ever drink alcohol, so that's good, because I don't think that would be good for her condition. But some people do in conditions like Annette's or similar, and even on certain medications you're not supposed to be. So me and Richard were saying maybe not Annette. Maybe Brittany's been drinking too, and maybe she is on meds and drinking. There's so many scenarios, but I think no one's in there to really watch over her right now, because her dad kind of used to have that conservatorship or whatever it was, and everyone wanted to get rid of that, but he's like, she's not going to do well, and you can see he probably was too controlling, but I knew he was right in the sense that I could tell, because she had been in Vegas, and I had seen certain things where they had shown when she wasn't doing so well, she had done some appearances, and I knew actually I had a client that was one of her crew, and he's like, yeah, she's pretty out of it, you know what I mean? They kind of have to lead her around, and so I knew there was, that the dad was doing something, that it wasn't some people were acting like, oh, Brittany was totally sane and the dad just controlling. No, he's like, no. He did say the dad was controlling and weird. He said he's a little weird, but he's controlling because he's very protective of her, because she was really off. And I don't know when she went off, but it was during whenever that year was, when I think it was 2008 or whatever, when she shaved her head and stuff. Yeah, she never really came back after that. They kind of propped her up for many years because she was worth so much money. It was get her out there and she can perform a little bit, but not anymore. But she could for a couple of years. It was kind of but they said the dancers had to help her a lot. She wasn't very. if you notice in her later years, her dances are not very like how she used to be. They're much more simple and kind of being led around a lot. Very sad, because I was a huge Britney Spears fan when I was young. Oh, big. And my family was very anti-Britney Spears. Oh, dear. Very anti-Britney Spears. She was so controversial when I was young because she came out with that Hit Me Baby One More Time, and everyone lost their minds and just could not believe that. And then she had a pretty provocative outfit on the cover of Rolling Stones, and she was, I think, pretty young. I want to say like 14, 16, somewhere-ish in there. And, everyone was losing their minds on that, I remember, when I was young. But when I was young, so I thought she was awesome, you know. But my dad was like, oh, there's some new artist, her name's Britney Spears, you know, and she's supposed to be pretty good. And then he watches the video, because we were watching like VH1 or MTV, one of the two. And oh my goodness, this is horrific. How dare they? Yeah, she made a lot of people mad. It's just interesting how times have changed, but not really, you know what I mean? Like, people are still getting mad about the same things, but definitely people dress more provocatively now, I would say. I'm shocked by some of the things the younger gen is wearing, where I feel like such an old lady when I'm like that, but I'm like, those shorts, you know? Like, I mean, for one thing, they don't even look comfortable. I mean, they're just like right up the bum. But it's just interesting, because it'll be right next to like the mom and dad or something, especially when I'm in New York. Sometimes I'll see it. Just like younger lady. I don't know the age. I'm not good with that. You know, in high school, you know. But I mean, hopefully not in the junior high and younger ones be wearing them things. It's probably a high school girl. But it's just like, my dad would have died if I was wearing those back in the day. I mean, they're not even shorts, really. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about? Have you seen these shorts? I don't think they're supposed to be considered shorts. They're not. They don't cover your butt on any level. I mean, it's basically jean underwear. Is what they look like. Jean thongs, big jean thongs. What they look like. I mean, I don't have the confidence to wear that. I don't. Good on them for the, confidence, but it is an interesting thing. It is very interesting. Because it's interesting how, and then certain society things are so frowned upon, but then it's like certain attire, like, I don't know what's going on there. Oh, and the bathing suits, those have gotten very tiny. We watch them on the Big Brother, the girls, like, it's like, well, that's very nice for the viewers, but my goodness, I mean, this very smaller than when I was younger. And those things still existed. I mean, we still had those, but they were just rare if someone was going to. Now it's like all the girls. I mean, I remember we wore the diapers. When I first started wearing swimsuits, I was very insecure, so I wore board shorts. And I was not overweight. I just was insecure, oh gosh, Casper's like rolling on his back, being like, look how cute I am. Can I get some attention? Because I'm so dang cute. I also just vacuumed, so he's all happy. And I vacuumed all of his area. And he has a brand new set of balls, which he tore up last night. So I had to like clean it all up. He's just been tearing apart his stuff all night, which is good. He's just loving it. And then Richard and Annette just went shopping. I'm sorry, it's my swimsuit thing. Richard and Annette just went shopping for the first time today because we had 2 pounds of beef. I remember, you guys were part of that. Yeah. I ate the beef. And I said, maybe we don't need to go to the store today.
A couple things. So Goo came from Eliza's channel.
Oh, hey,
Just asking a lot of questions, but really wants to know, is it true you can be naked in New York City in some areas?
Oh, you can be topless. I'm not sure about the naked, but you can be topless anywhere in New York City, which is crazy. So like you can be, like women can be breastfeeding in Central Park, just topless. They do it all the time. They're all about the free the nipple kind of thing. I'm not a fan of being topless. It's never been my thing. It's never been my huge asset, I would say. I don't like to particularly wear bras. I don't know. I just kind of like wearing just a loose shirt, so you might see through my shirts. It's not that but I've just never been one where like, I don't know, it was just never my thing. I never was one of those girls that flashed or anything like that. So the idea of being topless in New York City, for one thing, just sounds cold. Sounds really cold, and it sounds like a lot of attention. Like, I would just say, it is a lot of attention. Like, I can't even imagine the amount of people that would look at you, even though you're in New York City, but if you're topless, okay, walking down the street. I mean, it just in both scenarios, or either too hot and humid, and I'm sweating, and my boobs are sweating, no thank you. Or way too cold. All right, majorly nippy, or everyone is staring at me, or all three scenarios, or one of them, or two, or whatever. But none of them sound fun to me. Like, it's just never been something that I desire. But yeah, you can be topless. I'm not sure about the nudity. There is this guy called Naked Cowboy, but he's not naked. He wears like Speedo and a cowboy hat, I think. But he just calls himself the Naked Cowboy. And Richard was the Naked Jedi. They had the Naked Cowboy. And that was not, like, he was already the Naked Jedi before we went there. So it was kind of funny. They were both called that at the same time. Yeah, we met the Naked Cowboy when we were there in 2021. And we have photos and videos somewhere if we still do. I don't know. We did at some point. But Richard and the Naked Cowboy, neither of them were naked. Richard took his shirt off. I think he had shorts on. And that guy has a Speedo on. But I don't think you can be naked. I don't think you can show genitals usually in public. I don't think that's usually allowed in most places, unless it's like one of those naked beaches. But some places you can be topless, like New York City. I don't know how far in New York you can be topless. Like, I don't know if it's just the city. I don't know if it's all of New York. That you'd have to ask someone who is from there. But I do know in the city, and I know in like Central Park, women will like breastfeed topless. Which just feels like a lot of attention. I'm just like, I'm good. I don't need that much attention. Like Lizzo. New York is one of those places that some people go to be seen, you know. So like
you can also disappear.
They want to be seen there. Like, they're going there because maybe they want that attention. But most people go there to kind of disappear. Like, a lot of the celebs go there because in New York, you might not even notice a celeb, whereas other places you would. Where, like, the celebs will be, like, on the bicycles. I mean, celebs will be, like, riding the, like, city bikes and stuff, you know what I mean? And they often will try to wear, like, a hat or something, you know, a little bit of a disguise so people don't notice them always, but not always, you know, depending on the celeb. Some of them, like, are fully open about it. They ride the bike all day, you know. But it's New York City because it's, like, no one bothers them, you know. I mean, it's not like, I mean, a little bit of maybe once in a while they get, you know, some photos taken. But it's way different than if anywhere else, if you're, like, a huge celeb. You know, like if you're Brad Pitt, you know, if you're, you know, Kanye West, if you're Ariana Grande, if you're, you know, these people, like they can walk around New York and no one even cares. You know, if you're Justin Bieber, if you're Hailey Bieber, they can. I mean, the photo ops are usually by choice. Like, they're not usually just random. So, like, they just walk around. You know, all the models live there. A ton of, like, sports players live in Manhattan. And tons of movie stars, you know, and rock stars and stuff. And they just, you know, they scurry around Manhattan, or they don't. But they can,
Justin Timberlake
you know.
got arrested in the Hamptons a few months ago.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake got arrested in the Hamptons, which the Hamptons, that's probably easier to get arrested than Manhattan. Manhattan, like I said, is a celebrity, like I said, because you shouldn't be driving. So right there, that takes out a lot of, like, you know, a lot of times celebrities are caught for DUIs. But if you're not driving, then that takes out any sort of thing like that, like a DWI, a DUI. And in New York, you have to be pretty offensive to get arrested, too. Because a lot is allowed there. You can yell.
Hold on, you live in
Oh,
Chelsea,
you live in Chelsea,
and
that's
then
great.
Christina says, "Girl, I love your outfit."
Oh, thank you. I actually got this in New York a couple trips ago. It was like $15.
You live in Chelsea, New York, or Chelsea, UK?
Oh yeah, I know. I'm always like, does they mean Chelsea, New York, or Chelsea, UK? I actually like Chelsea, New York. That's a really nice area. If you're talking Chelsea, I don't know Chelsea, UK, but I think it's also nice, is what I've heard.
NYC.
NYC. Okay, cool. Yeah, I really like that area. Actually, that's one of my favorite areas in the sense of, I like kind of like it's not because okay, if you go too far up, it's too residential and it's kind of boring. And if you go too far down, it can get too chaotic, especially like, you know, the streets get crazy, and then, you know, you got Wall Street down there and stuff, and it gets kind of hairy, and like Chinatown's really hairy. But I really like Chelsea because it's kind of quiet, but still like busy enough. You know what I mean? And then like Midtown is good too, and I like Gramercy. And then Times Square is always fun, but Times Square is really busy. And then The east side I don't like as much as the west side. I prefer the west side. But the east side can be nice if you want actually a little bit quieter. I find the east side is quieter than the west side. I don't know if that's true. But it depends on like what you're looking for. Like if you like quiet, go up to like 53rd and like 3rd. You know what I mean? Like that's fantastic. Like stay up there. We stayed up there before. If you want quiet, if you don't want like the business. If you want business, go to Times Square. We're down, in the financial district now. It's getting pretty busy down there. It wasn't during the pandemic, but it's getting pretty busy down there now, or even like Chinatown. But
Chinatown's cool.
Yeah, Chinatown is fun, but it's crazy. I remember I was there one time in Chinatown. I like staying in different areas. So I like to try each different area. So hopefully this time I'll get to try some new areas. I haven't, Richard booked. I haven't looked at each one to see which area it's in yet. I know where I'm first going, and know where I'm going second. But I have I'm changing hotels several times this time.
I thought Joy would do good at, and you guys can laugh at this. Matthew said you would be really good, could do a tour stream of New York City because you know the area.
Yeah, I would.
Like if we made a video, like you just.
No, that would be good, or even a really good live that I just went around because I do know the different areas because we did live in like all the different areas. That was the beauty of living in hotels. Is we kind of got to know the area more than most because usually you kind of just know the area you live in. So we started in the Upper East Side on like 2nd and 68th, which was actually in between 2nd and 3rd and 68th and 69th. So I always said it was like 69th and 3rd.
I was on, when I lived there, it was good for me because when I lived there, I was on 2nd and 23rd.
Yeah, he was in like so Gramercy. Gramercy.
I was in fucking cool.
Is 23rd Gramercy?
Gramercy, yeah.
Yeah, 23rd is Gramercy. And we would have been stuck up there the whole time, which it's fine if it's like Snoozeville. But then once we started staying in hotels, we went everywhere. I mean, we went to Soho, we went to the Villages, we went to Times Square, we went way up, we went way down, we went to Financial District, we went to Wall Street, we went to Chelsea, we went to by Penn Station, we went.
You could also be a person that they
East and
send
West.
With a camera, and then you go like review hotels because you.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of hotels.
You know what to look for.
And I also know
Let me finish my sentence. You know what to look for, like when you check into a hotel. You know, you know immediately, like when you like a type of hotel just by look, like when you walk, like by the service.
Oh yeah, immediately. I even when I look on the photos, I usually know. Richard's always like, "Can you look at this one to make sure?" Because I can kind of just tell by being at so many hotels, like you can just tell by even the photos. They try to make their photos the best, but I can tell by like the lobby. I can tell by certain things, like if I'm gonna like the hotel or not. Usually. So fingers crossed I like these ones, but
like a
they're all
mystery
new
shopper,
ones
but
this time.
also like for YouTube.
They're usually new ones, but I'm changing hotels more than I normally do, so that's I'm a little bit more.
That's
nervous.
a really good idea. I like that idea. Whoever came up with it.
But the good thing about changing hotels more often is if you don't like one, then you're changing. You know what I mean? But then you might like one and then have to change and then not like one. You know what I mean? I have a tendency to kind of want to like go to what you know, but then you're not experiencing new places. It's to say like, what's kind of fun is going to new places. And actually what happens with us is we don't really have the choice to even go to the same places because according to when you book your hotel, it's almost like a whole new plethora of hotels every time. Like it'll be like if you were looking during these months, these ones were available. You know, it's kind of how New York is, and then like you look another time and like those might be available, but the price might be astronomically different than last time.
Yeah, just call me Harvey.
So it really just depends. So it's like I'm noticing that like certain times of the year it's like certain hotels kind of pop up and stuff, and we're like, oh, maybe we'll check out this one because you've been seeing it for years. So I think it would be cool if I could like kind of not go to maybe everyone because I wouldn't want some of them you don't want to go to, but the ones that are ones that would work for me, it would be cool if I kind of got to try all the different ones.
Like, you know what else? You know what else they say you'd be really good at? You know how on those shopping, Mitch says, you know how on the shopping channels, they just sit there and they just talk and talk and talk about the product.
Yeah.
You could totally do that for like 20 minutes.
I could sell something. If I feel passionate about something.
You don't have to feel passionate. Just talk about it like something you know. I mean,
well, yeah, if it's something. Well, I'm not good at lying, so I would like. In order for me, so I like if it was a crappy product, I would be like, "Are you here with this thing?" Then, so it had to be something I was passionate about if I was going to sell a product. But yeah, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze.
Oh, Snoop.
Excuse me.
Snoop is annoying every time I jump in.
Yeah, whatever. That's fine. Oh, excuse me, sorry. It's dusty in here. I need to clean. We need to clean a couple things before I leave.
Snip, just think of us like that show, All in the Family. You know what I mean?
I'm tired. Have I not been talking very long?
Nope, you keep going. You done?
Oh, I don't know. How long have I been talking?
Oh, gee, you've been talking forever.
Okay, good, because I thought it'd been a long time. I felt like I was getting tired. I try to at least do an hour. It's not like something that's... But it's like, if I haven't done an hour, that's just seems like that's not enough time at all. But, like, I felt like it was over an hour. But I don't even remember when I started talking to you guys. But if I do less than an hour, I feel like, I should at least talk for an hour. I can at least talk for an hour. Because I can talk for a long time. But sometimes I do get a little bit tired towards the end of the night because it's past. It's getting close to my bedtime, you guys. But it's past like dinner. I've already had my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so I'm actually getting kind of sleepy. I'm kind of happy though today I didn't get too bloated with having breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm getting better each day with the bloating. So I was really happy to even kind of come on blog because normally after dinner I'm just feeling like too bloated, when I'm eating the burgers. So today we almost did not go shopping today, and we were gonna eat what was here, but we didn't have any organic beef burgers, and I was like, you know what, I'll just eat. There was some other, it was like a roast that we needed to cook. I said, just cook that, that'll be fine. I'll just eat that. Which I didn't really want to do that because I really have been happy with like kind of keeping on my
people
organics.
saying, from like a year and almost watching a year and a half ago, when we first were streaming, some of these videos were coming down. You were getting on the scale, you were weighing in, and now you weigh almost 15 pounds more than you did back then.
Yeah.
So people are saying you look really good, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I feel like I look terrible right now, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm like 15 pounds more than I was back then. So, anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh, so we were gonna do the roast, and then we realized we had no water. So I was like, we're gonna have to go to the store. We were like, we don't have to go. We'll just eat this. I get to survive. But then we had no water. So Richard and Annette went just a little bit ago, like right before we came on blog, I think it was, and they got some beef, and so I was happy because I kind of wanted to stick with my organic beef because I didn't want to. The other meats always kind of start to bloat me more, upset my stomach. Like I said, the conventional because it's all the grain fed, so it's much fattier, and that roast just didn't look that great for tonight. Maybe another night I'll have a bite of it, but I didn't want that to be my staple thing I ate. So they went out and they had a good time. So it was good because Annette really does enjoy going shopping. So part of why we go is it's something for her to do too. Like she really enjoys it. They might not have to go tomorrow. I hope they got enough so like maybe we could skip tomorrow. But because we didn't go till late, till like right before dinner. But Annette just really enjoys going. I mean, it's just like kind of her and Richard's thing. And I don't think they go every day when I'm gone, but we're getting more organic beef when I'm here. So like it's like 6 pounds versus 3 pounds. So because me and Richard each eat 3 pounds, and he eats other things other than the organic beef. But I found the steaks are not any cheaper than the beef, so I just prefer. Annette prefers the steak. I prefer the beef. I've always preferred the beef because steak, even if it's organic steak, it's harder for me to digest than the ground beef. I say the beef. They're both beef. When I say beef, I mean ground beef. I mean, like, they're both beef, you idiot. The ground beef is what I'm trying to say. The beef burgers. And you have to say beef burgers now because people would think it's like vegan burgers. And I have to say, like, no, beef burgers. Like, real beef burgers. Beef. Not like the non-meat stuff. But I'm feeling really good today, day 9, and I think it's day 5 of the no sugar. But you'd have to actually go back and look. Me and Richard haven't done it yet. I forget which day it was. But it hasn't been since that day that I went grocery shopping, whatever day that was. When I felt all proud, I was like, I went grocery shopping today, and then later that day I caved in. I had like a cookie, and I had an avocado, and I think that's about it. Anyways, Casper's cleaning himself. He's so happy. He likes when his area is clean because then he can clean himself. He won't clean himself if his area is messy. But if his area is clean, then he fully cleans himself. Oh, now I can take more shower. Because bunnies pretty much clean themselves just by like licking themselves, and then he's got his water. I think he bathes a little bit with his water bowl, but it's primarily just licking. So if they have to sit in dirtiness, they don't want to lick themselves because they're like, it's messy. I don't know what's the point, So keeping a bunny's area is clean is very important to them. And it's kind of cruel when they sit in like dirty cages or something, or really dirty litter. So that's why I feel bad when I'm gone, because it gets much dirtier than I want it to be. But Richard still keeps it within reason. Some people are just ridiculous how they treat their animals. I get on Richard if it's too long. I'm like, I get that cleaned up when I'm in New York, because I'll be doing FaceTime. I'm like, wait, you better clean that floor. But Casper does miss me, but he also he knows that like I call Richard the daddy and me mommy because he's like our little baby. I think he really, I feel like he enjoys, having his time, because Richard, they play their little game and stuff, but he really does miss me because he's pretty attached to me. And it would be easier, to not have a pet going to New York, but I'm so happy I have Casper because he's just the sweetest little being. And he's brought so much happiness. I mean, he makes us laugh, 24/7. Everything he does is cute. I feel like a mom where you think everything your child does is cute, but he's a pretty darn cute boy. I mean, he's just he's funny. He's wily, but then he's also really sweet and really loving, and but then he does this thing where he moves all his balls like he's doing right now. He moves all his balls around, but they move it with their teeth. So it's really funny. So they look like they're mad because they're moving everything around, but they're moving it with their teeth, and it's just this funny thing that when you see him do it, and he'll do it. The phone is on the floor. But I think it's about time. I'm getting hot in here, actually. It's getting really hot. My hair is so crappy today. I'm really disappointed with it. But I used that hair reconstructor today, and I hadn't been using it because we had ran out, and I felt like my hair was doing better. And then I used the new one that's the crappy one, And I'm like, I don't think this is helping. I think if anything, it's weighing down my hair. The other one was better. So irritated. But I'm trying to get my hair healthy, but I probably need a haircut. Before I go to New York, but I don't know if I'll get one. I don't like going to get haircuts, even just the simple ones. I don't even let them wash my hair. I washed my hair that day, and they just usually will do it even dry. They'll just cut it really quick, and I still don't like that. I'm just I don't know. I don't like going and sitting in a place like that. It drives me nuts. Because I hate too. They're always like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" And ask me all these questions. Awkward. It's just always awkward. People ask questions that seem like very normal questions, but they're not for me. I mean, I don't go to ever to the Dottie's when this one guy is working because I got so embarrassed because he asked me what I did for a living and I didn't want to say, and so I said I was a cocktail waitress, and then he said where, and then it became this whole thing, and I was just like, so now I'm like, I can't go in there because I had to tell this guy this whole lie, and it was embarrassing. But I didn't know it. I just froze and just come up with oh. I didn't think he'd keep asking more and more questions.
You can't play with that toy over there.
Oh, nobody's good at blocks over there too, and he will maybe. But he didn't like it where it was.
Okay, well, we gotta put it over here.
We gotta put some, but I don't think, he doesn't like it blocking the, he's not a fan of that really. He don't like it. So I think you gotta put it back over there. No, he'd like it back over there. I got him this new thing that he's definitely not right there. That's not gonna work.
Pork rinds.
Are you eating those? Who is it that said they were terrible? Was it Ava?
Ava said she doesn't like them. I think they're delicious.
We laughed. That was a good one, Ava. She's like, I tried those. They're terrible. I'm not a fan either. No. They're if you're really trying to avoid things like chips or pretzels or something. But yeah, they're not nearly as good. I mean, it's like pork fat, right? Fried fat. No, he's not a fan of that, and that's not going to work right there. I'll move it, but is it your turn?
In 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Okay.
We do this and then we'll go.
because I am getting tired. Yeah, the Mets game was a total flop. It was a disaster. So Manaea fell apart. So he was doing great. He got like 8 strikeouts, and then I was like, they need to pull him. That's a lot of strikeouts. No, that is not going to work. He is not happy with that. You should get the hell out of there. There you go. It's not going to work. There we go. Yeah, let him go play with it over there. There. Yeah, over there. That'll work. There, now he's playing with it over there. You can check it out over there, but he was not going to like. Casper is very particular. he's a brat. He's a very particular brat. Yeah, but how about playing with it over there?
Casper's a little king. A
Yeah.
little prince.
So I can really tell when he
You
doesn't.
turn him into a little prince.
Yeah, he's a prince. He knows he's a prince. Oh, Casper, I think I put one. I think there's one in your cage. Maybe did you already find that one?
Let me do this. I tell you what, I'm gonna do a bong hit and then I'll take it.
Yeah, he wants to play the game. Casper wants to. He has these little treats. They're supposedly just Timothy Hay, little balls. But man, he goes nuts for them.
Yeah, but okay, real quick
But
question.
they're supposedly good for
They're arguing
digestion.
between who does best in sports, but who is the best juggler? Who has the best jugglers? That's what it comes down to, juggling.
Oh, juggling. Juggling's got to be. I have no idea.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm pretty sure. So whoever has the best jugglers, that's what it comes down to.
Couldn't tell you. But probably America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent. Yeah, but most of the people aren't even from America, are they?
No, most of them. No, most of them are foreign. I know most of them are foreign on America's Got Talent.
Oh wait. Oh, you gotta take over your bunny here.
I know he needs treats. He's going
Okay,
nutty
I'll
bears.
take over here. Let me do this, and then I'll be right with
I
you.
didn't really understand that. It's America's Got Talent.
They have Britain's Got Talent too, but I think.
But I mean, I get you live in America, but I think the point was like.
I think you come here for the contest though. Like that's what I mean. You gotta be here.
No, these people didn't live in America. That was the point.
Yeah,
They didn't live in America.
Change that.
They didn't live in America. They don't even
Okay.
live in America. I don't understand that. How is it America's Got Talent, but our winners are not American?
You really don't matter.
No, I mean they're not even. They're like usually from like Africa and stuff.
Yeah, it don't really matter.
But it shows
Yeah,
maybe
okay.
we're not that talented.
Okay. No, Joy. Anyways, so let's.
No, but it is funny. It is funny. So we used to watch that show. I liked Tate McRae. She came from So You Think You Can Dance. That's a singer. She was a phenomenal dancer. I really like dance. And those dancers are phenomenal on those shows. I mean, it's just like unreal. It's kind of amazing the things people can do these days. I mean, because like, there's always been amazing things people have done, but it seems like some things are getting like crazy. We're like, what? How is that possible? I mean, it's just like, no one would have thought that could be something that could be completed. It's getting crazy with it, especially the sports
So
stuff.
how is the no drinking thing going?
Well, it's day 9. No problem
If
here
we're
in
seeing
Vegas.
You're probably drinking right now.
I'm
Or
not
not
drinking
but
right now.
Like before the trip, in general.
Oh, before the trip? No, I don't think that's going to be an issue. It's the trip that's going to be the issue. I really feel the trip's going to be an issue. I don't feel that it's going to be an issue before, because I really am actually very committed to trying to get in as best of health as I can in the next 14 days. I only have 14 days. That's pretty close. And if I were to drink now, I'm never going to get in shape before my next trip, because there's a chance I'll drink in New York. So it's like kind of like a little bit of like I don't really have a choice right now. Like I need to be fit right now. Like I need to make sure, because otherwise my health is really going to deteriorate if I'm just unhealthy always.
We can't have that.
You know what I mean? So this is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the only way this is going to work is if I am healthy when I'm home. And it's not going to work for long, like I said, but like, short term. But if I'm unhealthy the entire time, it'll never work. I'll just be sick, because it doesn't take me long to get sick. Like I said, like 2 weeks, I'm not feeling well if I've been drinking.
And then it's all over. Oh,
And
he's
then, so
enjoying
if
the
I
video.
came home and was drinking for these 3 weeks, it would be terrible. I mean, I'd be really ill right now. That's a big reason why I stopped when I got home too, is I was feeling really ill. So it did there was a lot of scenarios of why, the drunk karaoke that night, almost missing the flight. And then I just was really ill that day, because it was done. Like 2 weeks, like I said, I'm done. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Okay. So if it was 5 weeks, that would never work for my health. Like 5 weeks of drinking, and then I go for 2 more weeks. So 7 weeks drink? No. That I would be very ill. So that's why I'm trying to balance this as best I can of like be as healthy as I can when I'm home, and then if I have to drink in New York, deal with that for the 2 weeks, but then get healthy as soon as I get home. It's kind of the game plan. All right, and that's what happened last time. So like I actually snapped back pretty quick with the 3 days because I haven't drank in Vegas.
Thank you, Joy, for a wonderful stream.
Oh, thank you guys.
Wonderful
I had a good time.
today.
Thank you.
It was really, really good. It was very, very entertaining.
All right, thank you.
And informative.
Appreciate it.
And look at this bunny. Oh gosh. Here's the thing. For those of you who don't understand what it takes to take care of a bunny, if you have a happy bunny and he's relaxed and he's chill and his place is clean and he's got a litter box and he uses it and he's got little toys and he uses them, these guys are very temperamental. They won't be like that unless everything's absolutely copacetic. So that should give you an indication of how spoiled that bunny is. He's a little prince. Okay, come on, let's go. I gotta do my workout now. Okay, come on, let's go. Thank you for subscribing. Check you out. Who just... Oh, Joanne Sella donated $1. Never mind. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Come on, Joy. Joy, we got a $1 donation. Let's do it. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get dance. I'll just do it right there. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Get down tonight. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Get down tonight. Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I hope you're having a great day. Come on. I gotta get my workout in now. I hope you're having a great day. Oh, geez, it's hot. I don't know if it might be too hot for me to go outside today. I'll try though. Hi. How are you feeling? Good. Okay. Woo. Oh, sorry guys. So, I just kind of like to do a nice little mediocre screen. And then we'll kind of do some push-ups. Hey Trigger Man. Hey Jessica Hansen. Yeah, it's my Jedi workout. It's good for my muscles, Oh, what's up, Goo? What's up, Gaslit? Hit those likes. Man. Smashing the workout? Not really. I've been big lazy, but I've come to terms with it. Okay. My 60-second abs commercial. Hey, Paul Moss. Hey, no way. Long time, bro. Come on, let's get our workouts in. All right. Boom. Ah, yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, the difference is that you've seen them do better. You try doing better than them. Try doing better. There's a big difference between watching someone do them and actually doing them. Nunchucks. Which these are legal here. Hi. It is pretty warm out there. It is pretty warm out there. All right, guys. Woo! All right. Oh. Woo! Oh, let me turn this off so we don't get a bunch of backlash going on. Man, you know, it is not warm out there. It is. Thing is, see, most places when they get hot, it's like they get hot for like 2 or 3 weeks tops, right? That's your summer. Here, what it is like it's been hot, it's been over 100 degrees, and then it gets really hot. So it's like the whole earth is hot. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me get my shoes on. I'm not hooting the blowfish. I want the lights on. Do you guys like the lights on or off? Do you want to do it with the lights on? Me too. you think that Eliza could give me an interview with Andy Dick? I'm just kidding. I'm so kidding. I'm totally just kidding. I'm just messing around. Oh, Triggerman, you had the pleasure of a visit, or you just know somehow. What are we talking about? Nirvana's negativity? What do you mean? You think birds should pay taxes? No, man, birds don't have to pay taxes. You see, everything for birds is free. Young horse, be free tonight! Someone just messaged me and said Mark was watching. Which Mark, man? We got a lot of Marks out there. Channel. I am not bursting in lyrics. That was a joke. I was just doing that just to give you like 1 second of cringe where you're just like, oh my God, is this guy gonna sing? No, absolutely not. Do not worry. Do not worry. Here's the thing. What I don't understand is how like Joy says like a couple weird things and the whole channel gets like, but then I can play this stuff and no problems. You know. Okay, this is a memory of Dark Uncle. I need a little more juice. What? I'm just playing guitar, man. I'm just playing, bro. I'm just playing Stoner Connection. Agreed. Randy knew his shit. That's the fucking thing. Oh yeah, I know. Flying high again. I forgot about that one. I was like, Mr. Crowley, did you talk to the dead? Mr. Crowley, did you hear what they said? Yeah, is it too hot in there?
It is hot.
Yeah. You guys want to see Joy again? I think Joy's well. I think she's good for the night. She did an encore. She did 2 shows today. Do you guys remember Jane's Addiction? No, that was Chris Cornell was in the band called Black Old Sun. They did that song, Black Old Sun. What was that song? Black Old Sun. Huh?
He wasn't with STD.
No, he was with that other band. Soundgarden. R.I.P. Ozzy. All right. Listen. Okay, guys. Hope you all had a fantastic afternoon. I'm winding it down myself. What time is it? Oh, 6 o'clock. I can water the plants at 6:30. We have to wait till 6:30 in the summertime. We can't go before then. All right, guys. Listen, we'll check you out tomorrow, okay? All right. Thanks, Snoop. Thanks, Matthew T. Thanks, Triggerman. Googleberry. Thank you, seeing you. Midge, always. Emily. Guys, Paul, good seeing you again. Hey, you guys have a good one. Okay. We will, yeah, check you out the next time.
Turn me up a little bit. Maybe now you're gonna hear this one. Sun shining. Yo.
I don't hate players. I love the game. I'm a shot clock, way above the game.
Be point blank with you. The game.
I got all this work on me, I ain't come for play.
You can show the little shorties how you pump and dance.
The dog.
Not to death, I'm not impressed, I'm not amused, I'm not confused, I'm not to do. I'm a grown man business, I'm not in school. Put your hand down, youngin', this is not for you.
On my jail, my beats with the Kanye, yo.
Your name on the market, your name off the payroll. Style fresh
Like I'm still a Dayo, and it's been like that since the day-yo.
On more time than a Rollie or Seiko.
Step on deck, your neck, or do what I say so. Get up or get out, get down or lay low.
Stand in the shadow. Open Jedi, I am Black Jedi, that Jedi.
Let's move.
Shout out to my man Khalid Kweli, we on top. Shout out, check it out.
Check it out. Slim Jedi,
Cast a big shadow.
Cherokee red to shoot the long arrow.
Got
More skill, more aim, and more ammo.
You can get it all from a big or small barrel like
Hail Mary, full of grace, Jedi.
Come and shoot up the place and make you pull up your face. The death.
I pull out the ace from the jungles of the Empire State where there ain't no escape. 247.
718, and that's like every night, every day. From the place that I settle insane to the states, I'm collecting my pay.
Blast off and I'm back to the cave.
Hold it down for my family straight.
Representing a family way.
Football, not for amateur play.
Benny Ross is an amateur stage. Before the president, the camera's raised.
Like a long time man of the way, you understand me straight.
Yeah, no doubt.
Excellence. And that's what it is, you see.